He was poor and she was rich. They say love doesn't care about anything, but when these two started dating in high school, all their classmates thought they were crazy. Everyone thought their relationship would never last. But what everyone didn't know is that he had a plan to make her fall in love with him, and it was working perfectly. Catherine had everything a girl could ever want, or at least it seemed that way. She lived in a big house with a beautiful garden, drove a shiny red convertible, and always wore the latest fashion. All the boys at school wanted to date her, but she was too proud and only looked down on other people, and this made Catherine very lonely. She wished she could find someone who liked her for who she was, not for her money or social status, but she knew this was impossible, or so she thought. Meanwhile, there was a boy at school named Daniel. He wasn't rich or famous. He just had one dream: to make his parents proud of him. From a young age, Daniel had to work hard to help his family survive. This meant that most of the time he didn't have the opportunity to socialize with his peers. Because of this, he grew up with a lot of anger towards his circumstances. At some point, it even made him drop out of school, but later on, he changed his mind and decided to get his high school degree. And this is where our story begins. Daniel entered the school as an older student and instantly caught everyone's attention because of his piercing blue eyes and intense gaze. Not only that, but he was also extremely intelligent and soon became one of the top students in the class. However, no one really knew him. In fact, no one ever dared to talk to him. That is until one day when a new teacher joined the school. She was beautiful, kind, and very friendly. Soon she became the favorite teacher of all the students. One day she asked Daniel why he was so distant from everyone else and never participated in class. She thought maybe he was having some trouble at home, so she invited him to her house for dinner. Daniel was hesitant at first, but then he accepted the invitation. The next day he showed up at Mrs. Thompson's house. Her husband opened the door and welcomed them inside. There they met her two daughters, Emma and Catherine. Catherine was a year younger than Daniel, but she had already started to notice him. She found his piercing blue eyes mysterious, and she couldn't understand why he kept to himself. On the other hand, Daniel saw Catherine and felt something he had never felt before. It was like his whole world had been gray, and then suddenly a splash of color appeared. He was immediately taken aback by her beauty and charm. He felt his heart skip a beat and his face flushed with excitement. He had never felt this way about anyone before. Daniel knew right then and there that he wanted to get to know her better. At first, Catherine wasn't interested in Daniel. She had dated popular guys who played sports and were part of the school's elite, but something about Daniel intrigued her, so she decided to give him a chance. As the weeks went by, Daniel and Catherine started spending more time together. They studied, played video games, and hung out at the mall. Catherine found herself enjoying Daniel's company more than she had ever enjoyed anyone else's before. He was different from the other guys she had dated. He didn't care about her social status or how much money she had. He treated her like a normal person and made her laugh all the time. Daniel, on the other hand, was over the moon with Catherine. He had never met a girl as beautiful and charming as her. He knew that she was from a wealthy family, but he didn't care about that. He had fallen in love with her for who she was. But little did he know, Catherine's feelings for him were beginning to change as well. Now, while Catherine had initially been drawn to Daniel's mysterious demeanor and piercing blue eyes, she had quickly realized that there was more to him than met the eye. As they spent more time together, she discovered that he was not only intelligent and witty, but also had a kind heart and a strong sense of justice. He was passionate about helping others and always stood up for what he believed in. These qualities, along with his good looks and mysterious air about him, had quickly made him irresistible to her. Now, however, Catherine was torn between her growing feelings for Daniel and the expectations of her family and society. She knew that her family would never approve of Daniel, not only because he was not from a wealthy background, but also because they knew nothing about him. Catherine knew that if she were to confess her feelings for Daniel, she would be putting their relationship at risk, but the thought of losing him was unbearable to her. She loved him too much to let go. One day, Catherine finally worked up the courage to tell Daniel how she felt about him. She had chosen to do it in a place that was meaningful to both of them, the library. It was here where they had spent many hours studying and talking about their dreams and aspirations. Now, as she confessed her love for him, Daniel was taken aback by Catherine's confession. He had been hoping that she would feel the same way about him, but he had never dared to believe that she actually did. However, as he looked into her eyes and saw the sincerity and love in them, he knew that he had found the girl he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. He had never felt this way about anyone else, and he knew that he loved her just as much as she loved him. Daniel wasted no time in telling Catherine that he loved her too. He had never felt such a strong connection with anyone else, and he knew that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. The two embraced each other tightly, their hearts filled with joy and love. They knew that they had found something special, and they were determined to make it last. After that day, Daniel and Catherine's love for each other only grew stronger. They supported each other through thick and thin, always being there for each other no matter what. They knew that they had found something rare and precious in each other, and they were determined to hold on to it tight. Soon enough, it was time for them to graduate from high school. Both Daniel and Catherine were excited about the future and what it held for them. They had plans to attend college, and they were eager to start their lives together, but they also knew that they would face challenges along the way. However, they were confident that they could overcome anything as long as they had each other by their side. As the years passed, Daniel and Catherine's love for each other only grew stronger. They faced challenges and obstacles, but they always managed to come out of it together. They got married after college and started their own family. They had two beautiful children, a boy and a girl, who they named Emma and Ethan. Looking back on their journey together, Catherine and Daniel knew that they had found something truly special in each other. They had faced many challenges, but they had overcome them all together. And they knew that as long as they had each other, they could face anything life threw at them. Now you might be wondering what happened to Catherine's family. Did they accept Daniel? Well, yes, they did. At first, they had been skeptical of Daniel, but as they got to know him, they saw that he was a good man and that he loved their daughter. So they eventually came to accept him and even offered their support and blessings to the couple. As for Catherine, she couldn't be happier. She had found a man who loved her for who she was, not for her money or social status. She had found a man who was her best friend, her confidant, and her lover. She had found a man who was willing to stand by her side through thick and thin. Catherine and Daniel's love story is a testament to the fact that love can conquer all. Their love for each other had endured despite the challenges they had faced, and they knew that as long as they had each other, they could face anything life threw at them. So what's the lesson we can learn from this story? Love doesn't care about anything. If you truly love someone, then you should be with them no matter what. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. What do you think of this story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and family. We appreciate all the support we get from you guys and hope you keep watching our videos. Thank you for watching.